Welcome to the Wise Women Podcast and our debut season, Wisdom's Discovery, Finding Your Center at the Edge. Because some moments in life call us to our edge and then beckon us to expand beyond it. In this season, we dive into the shared experiences of 20 remarkable women. And through honest conversation, we explore together the moments that shape us, stretch us, undo us, and ultimately return us to ourselves. I'm Catherine Jelinek, and this is the Wise Women Podcast. Hello, everyone. It is my honor to get to be speaking with Sandi Mitchell. Sandi is a certified EOS implementer and the CEO of Apex Catalyst Group, where they ensure leaders get what they want out of their businesses and team. Sandi, welcome. Thank you for being here.
I appreciate it, Catherine. It's exciting.
Yes. So tell us, where does your story begin?
Well, I'm going to say that it starts with my great-grandparents and grandparents. They all lived to be between 94 and 101 and a half. So I have this competitive nature. So I've decided I'm going to live to at least 102. But what I really want is not just the lifespan, but the health span. And the reason that became a huge impetus for me to move forward quicker than I thought, because I'm expecting that to be 40-ish years from now, is that 2 years ago, my 58-year-old sister died with cancer. And it just totally, we are all going to die. I just expected us all to die a long time from now. And so what I have done is I've decided that it started with just my health. How is it that I can really focus in on having not just a lifespan, but a really good health span so that I'm healthy when I get there? Both of my grandparents on my dad's side, they got dementia when they were like 99 and 100.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's
wow.
Get it.
Yeah.
Do it then.
Yeah, if you're getting it then, I mean, okay.
And as I started building on that, I was putting different things in place to increase the health span. I realized, it needs to be all of me, my mind and my physical health and my spiritual health and financial health and just all of me. And so I created this morning ritual, and I'm not very good at following processes, which is why I hire people to do that for me. But this one, because it's so important to me, it's one that I can go back and forth between 5 minutes if I have a quick start to the day, or it can be up to 2 hours, depending on how much time I have. But it helps me continue moving forward because it doesn't have to be perfect, Catherine. It just needs to be better.
Love that, because none of us are perfect. And sometimes if we have routines that feel like, oh, I need to have this whole thing, that keeps you from continuing. So what you've got sounds flexible.
For me, absolutely.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay, I can't wait to hear about it. So please share.
Okay. So I'd like to follow Brian Johnson. And so I created this acronym.
And who is Brian Johnson in case we might not know?
Brian Johnson is the CEO of Heroic Public Benefit Corporation. And so he starts out really, it's all about he does summaries of books that help make us better, which is how I got connected. But he's really cool. And so I created this with the acronym Heroic. I came out of the technology world and everything has an acronym. So that was fun for me. But basically it's how do I start my day like the main character in my own masterpiece day, my own masterpiece story, right? Mm-hmm. How do I set my intention rather than letting the day just happen to me? Quick little thing, like I never look at my email before I look at my calendar. So that helps me set kind of the overall look at of the day. And then I can get into all the requests that are being given to me. Before I even do that, I go into Heroic. And so each of the 6 have their own word, of course. So H stands for harmonize. And so this is basically whatever works for you. If it's meditation or prayer or silence or affirmations or deep breathing, just something so that there is quiet time to think and to listen, right?
Hmm.
So it's just, so you harmonize mind, body, and soul. Then the E is envision. What is it that I want from today that will really make me feel like I'm moving a little bit closer to my dreams, my goals, the masterpiece day that I want? So I'm actually seeing it, right? Years ago, I was teaching, and one of the stories that I found was, I think it was, I can't remember her first name. Rousey was her last name. And she was an Olympic jujitsu, I think.
Really?
Yeah, and
Cool.
so what she was in the and I'm totally gonna butcher all the dates and times, but she was, like, in the 2008 or 2012, Olympics and got okay, she did okay in it, and so she decided in the next Olympics, wherever London, was that 2012? She decided in the next Olympics that she was going to be on the gold podium, and so every morning she visualized what.
This is so cool. I have to look her. I'm gonna grab it while we talk because Ronda Rousey, right? Is it Ronda?
And
Yeah.
so anyway, that's what I want. I want to be able to
Oh,
envision my own. And she got a medal, right? So then after I envision the day, then one of the things that I do is I look back on the day before. So reflect is the R. And this is where I practice gratitude. I look at what are the lessons that I learned from yesterday. And sometimes, like yesterday's lesson was, well, I spent a week and a half traveling, and so my consistency was really bad, but I was able to do my 5 minutes, right? But it was a quick reflection so that when I envision, I can say, today is the day that I'm getting my consistency back because I'm back in my routine world.
mm,
The O is the optimize. This is what Misty, my sister, engendered in me. And how do you optimize your body? How do you move the body? So I had 2 years ago, I had torn the tendon on the bottom of my foot, and
ouch.
they didn't want me to walk. They didn't want me to, exercise. And I had really been in a good walking routine. I was like, well, how am I going to be healthy if I can't do that? So my word then was unstoppable. And so I decided I could do the twist without hurting my foot.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I started doing the twist to Sia's song Unstoppable, and then to Pharrell Williams' song Happy. Sometimes I could just do one song, sometimes I could do two, sometimes I could do 4 or 5 songs. But that, and then for my clients, movement is good for you after lunch. So I would have everybody get up with me after lunch and we would all do the twist to the song Happy because that's good for them. And and it was fun, right? There was collaboration in that. So far, I've lost 70 pounds and 6.5 inches off my waist by doing things like the twist,
Wow.
right? Fun, just fun
But
things.
you're back to walking. Yeah.
Yes, I'm walking
Yes.
again. Yeah, which is
Good.
really good. It's very helpful. So what I
It's
do,
not just the twist that you
yeah,
lost 70
no, no,
pounds
no.
doing the
So what
twist,
I
right?
do, I do Tai Chi. I do about 10 minutes of
Wow.
Tai Chi. Then I do about 15, 20 minutes of dancing, which can include the twist or something else. And then in the afternoon, I have a block off time for lunch because I would usually not do that. And so I would eat all day. And so I will eat lunch and then I'll go take a 30-minute walk.
So good.
Yeah, and it feels good and you're outside, you're getting the vitamin D and
I need to do that.
it's fabulous. I love it. I love it, Catherine. The I stands for inspire. So, what am I listening to? What am I reading? What am I doing that will inspire me, that will get me curious, motivate me? So, one of the things that I do is I listen to books on tape, biographies or book summaries or something that will get my juices sparked because I feel like I do a lot of coaching and training. And every time I learn something, I'm immediately thinking of one of my clients. Oh, I need to tell them that quote, or I need to go try that tool with them. So it's very exciting for me. And then the last one, the C is commitment. So what am I actually committing to this day? So one of the things that I do have I list out what are all the meetings that I have that I agree to, because just
Mm.
because somebody invites you to something doesn't mean you have to agree to go. And then I list out what are the top 5 things that I want to accomplish today, but what are the 3 that are the most important? So what's important now? What are my wins? What's important now? So what are the top 3 things that I want to do? And typically the other 2 are things that are moving me, if it's not included in the top 3, moving me closer to my priorities, or as in the EOS we call them my rocks for the quarter, or my dreams. I have a BHAG every year, a big hairy audacious goal that I'm trying to
Yeah.
achieve.
And what's your current BHAG?
My current BHAG is I want to continue the weight loss. So I'm going to lose another 70 pounds and another
Wow.
6.5 inches, because I
Incredible.
want by my birthday, I'll be 64 this year, 65 next year. By my birthday, I want to be in tip top shape. I want to be able to play duck, duck, goose with my great niece that was born on Christmas Day last year and have fun, right? I want to be able to have fun. So that's what my heroic day
Incredible.
morning looks like.
Well, and what is a 5-minute I'm on vacation version versus like a usual life version? Like, tell me how this can flex and flow.
Yeah. So one of the things that I do under commit, this sounds kind of, again, kind of woo woo, but it's all based in neuroscience, which I'm a big old neuroscience geek, that I was taught years ago, probably 13, 14 years ago, by a psychiatrist that was brought into a mastermind that I was in. Have you heard of tapping? So tapping is where you can kind of put yourself into a self hypnosis.
Yes, it's a therapeutic, it's
Yes,
a part of EMDR, right? In therapy to like
something.
release trauma. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I think so. So anyway, one of the things that she taught us was to go inside and we've got a board of directors, and she gave us 3. I added a 4th. So my 4 are, so the first one is God. So what is it that God, from a holistic viewpoint, what is it that God wants me to focus on today? This morning it was lead with love. So that's usually fairly quick. A lot of times it's listen. The next one is my president. So the president for me, and it can be anybody, right? The president for me is Wonder Woman. And so Wonder Woman, her job is to tell me strategically what is it that I need to focus on today. Right? All of these are insight. It's who I am, right? But
Mhm.
it gives me quick things. And I can do this in 2 minutes, like 30 seconds each, right? The third one is my head of marketing, which for me is Marco Polo, because he went around the world and he talked to a lot of different people. He was fearless, great curiosity. And so who are the people I need to talk to today? And then the last one is my head of HR. So the head of HR takes care of people, right? So this one, her job is to take care of me. And so the dog in Peter Pan, Nana, that's the Nan.
Yes.
Yes,
Very cute.
Nana is my head of HR. So when I'm working from home, she will, after I leave for the day, she'll go and lay down in front of the door so that I can't go back into the office and keep working. Right. So her job is what is it that I need to do to be physically healthy today? What are the things I need to focus on? So those 4 really help me hone in on what I need for the day.
And which part of heroic was that again?
Commit.
There was a commit. And
Yeah.
you get to talk to, and where was the practice from? Of this like board that you can visualize and like put
Yeah.
different.
So what I
Wait,
did, this is so funny, Catherine.
that's sweet.
I
Yeah.
haven't talked about this in a long time. So what I did is I created a boardroom, right? So when I lived in Dallas, there was the house that I lived in, we had a glass doorknob. And so I envisioned the glass doorknob, me turning it, and that's me going into the boardroom. So the boardroom, this cracks me up. It's got a green shag carpet that I got when I was in 5th grade, that when I came home from church camp, my parents had done it. And my God, it was the greatest thing in the
Oh
world.
my gosh, that's so funny.
And then it's got like a huge cherry wood table, and behind it is cherry wood shelves just filled with books. And then God has his throne, and then Wonder Woman, and everybody has their own place to sit. But what I started seeing too is we rarely go to the table anymore. because I had a big bay window that looks out over Fiji because I just loved it when I was there, looking out
Oh
over
my God.
that. And so you hear the sounds of the water, the ocean. And we're like, I come in and I stand in the middle. So God's behind me, Wonder Woman's to the right, Marco Polo to the left, and Nana's in front. And and we have a quick conversation, listening to the ocean, looking at the sunrise or sunset, or
And this is all like
it's all my
just a
meditation state.
visualization, right? But this is so cool that you can kind of create those different personas and
Yeah.
spiritual guides to some
Yeah.
degree, that where you can tune into different messages that reflect back to you the things you need.
Right.
Yeah. From parts that might not be speaking as clearly when we're just only tuned into ourself.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's beautiful to help you dial into your commitments for the day on
Yeah.
C. And so when you're on vacation, you're saying that that's kind of the part that you stick to the most? Is that what, with the 5-minute version?
I think, well, yes. I always try to, like, if I don't have time to read a book or something, I'm looking for what's a quote. What's a quote. My theme for the year this year is focus. So how can I focus in and minimize the distractions, right? So every day, one of the things I try to do is like, what's a quote that I can listen to, and that kind of becomes like a mantra throughout the day without thinking about it, right? And then I used to, in my EOS sessions, I used to come in and I would sit all day long, and it would be great, but I can't do that anymore. So I'm up and I'm walking around and I'm encouraging them to get up, because as you get up, there's more breath that comes into your brain so you can think better. So we do a lot of movement in the sessions that I never did before. And I think it's helping me and my clients. So
Mhm.
even though I don't do it all at one time on those quick days, I still try to do something throughout the day that adds to the brilliance of the day.
And I hear also just a lot of like mindset, intentional mindset engineering in
Yes.
this, and the habit that has worked well for you. And I think that when you're sharing this, I hear both one, an encouragement and a license to share, like if heroic works for us. But I love what you did was really you created something that worked best for you
Yeah.
with the intention of elongating your health span and in fully encompassing all of that from, spiritual to physical,
Hmm.
the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And so, and it's been how long again? Just over a year of doing this practice?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you talked about your health results, but I'm so curious too to hear, how is life different? How's the inner field different?
It's really, um, I'm talking about a lot of stuff that sounds woo woo.
That's okay. I mean, life
Yeah,
and being a human that
but
has a lot more.
I'm not woo woo, but it's really funny to me how these things are coming in. But I took a class in 2024. I started it before we realized that Misty was sick. It took 3 months, 101 days actually, from the time
Hmm.
she found out to the time she died. And
Wow.
every month we had a different universal law that we learned about, and then we tried to learn, right? And practice.
Embody.
And so my favorite one was the law of polarity. And basically the law of polarity says that nothing is good or bad. It just is. We ascribe good or bad to it. And so that what that means is that it was bad that Misty had cancer. It was good that that last month, the month of March, my clients gave me the freedom to spend all of my time with her. And so I took care of her with my mom during the day, and then her husband took care of her at night. But so much we got to say in that month that we had said before, but we really got concentrated time to just be in joy,
Hmm.
right? So joy is one of my values. Being curious, being bold, those are three of my values: leading in love and making an impact. So those five are my values. And so what I'm doing is I am living those values, and I'm looking for joy even when it's hard. And I'm being really intentional about that, because life happens, right? Things get bad sometimes. So what's the gift inside of the bad? Because there is a gift if you look for it.
Was that a part of the law of polarity that like where there is good, there's also bad, or where there's bad, there's also good?
There was. And I mean, I had that belief before, but now I had like the neuroscience around it of like what really looking for it. Like what's really when I think that something is not working, then what's the good in it? There's the I think it's China. There was a story about a farmer whose son broke his leg, and all the neighbors said, "Oh my God, that's so terrible." And he goes, "We'll see." And then the next day, the military came in and took all of the boys at that age that were healthy, and he didn't go. And the neighbors said, "Oh, you're so lucky." And he goes, "We'll see." Right. And he just carried on with the story because things just are. And so if we can accept that, then there is freedom in that. Then I can choose how I want to see it and how I want to respond versus letting it happen to me and me reacting. There's peace in that.
That's big. That's big. I really do love and respect that lesson of perspective, of choice, of focus. It is how you see it.
Right.
And is it then fair to say learning that and having those experiences around the time of Misty's last month and then passing led you to want to make sure you reminded yourself of that every day
Right.
and lived that way on purpose?
Yeah. And I find, Catherine, that I have always been relationship driven, but I find that just being even more authentic in beliefs like that, there are people who are attracted to me and there are people who are repelled by the beliefs, and both are good.
Yes.
Right.
And so, for example, what are you being more authentic about that's doing that?
Well, what I find is because hasn't gone away, right? When I feel those triggers and I feel like, oh my God, I got to fight for myself, or oh my God, why are things happening to me? That I can then say, wait a minute, I know where this is leading and it's harming me. What do I want that will serve me instead? And so I can take a breath and I can say, if I am curious about what's happening, then I don't have to go inside and protect myself. I can say, Catherine, tell me what's going on. What happened? I saw your face stop right then. What happened inside? So it's not about me anymore. It's about us. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And you're not over internalizing everything that occurred.
Yeah. So I think that's helped my health a lot because I would internalize a lot of things, accept a lot of things. But now I feel like I have this beautiful net that I don't have to protect myself. I don't have to make sure that I'm okay because I am. So I can then focus on them and help them see that they have choice too.
I do see how unstoppable was a theme word.
Worked.
Did.
It took me 3 years, Catherine. For 3 years in a row, I had strategic, not squirrel. So I didn't get it in the first the first 2 years. It took me 3 years to get that, but unstoppable was fabulous.
Yeah,
That was
but
last year.
that's good.
Yeah.
There's so many parts that feel like they were catalyzed, right? To use your company's word, around especially the wake up that Misty brought
Yes.
from that relationship. But it's what a wonderful way to honor the life of your sister too.
Yeah.
Take hold of fully of your own.
Right. Right.
And so where else has this led you, or where further do you know you're going based on the heroic wake up and intentionality that you've now been in?
Yeah. I think, I guess at my age, although I don't feel my age, that legacy is becoming more and more important, right? I wasn't able to have kids. And so I made it my life's mission to be the favorite aunt. And I'm really good at it. And so it's how do I take these amazing lessons that I've learned and just help people open their eyes a little bit see a little bit more, right? Here's some neuroscience geekiness for you. So when we get stressed, we have no control over what happens in our body. But you've heard of fight or flight, freeze or please, right? So what happens is that your body takes all the oxygen from the non-essential parts of the body and put it into the arms for fighting, the legs for fleeing, and the breath and the lungs for breathing, right? What that means is that you're stuck in amygdala mode, amygdala hijack, right? Which is all about survival. Can I be okay in this or not? And it's highly emotional. The prefrontal cortex is the logical part of the brain. This is the part that you can make decisions in hard times. So an easy way of looking at this is your peripheral vision. When things are normal and happy, you can see anywhere from 180 to, back a little bit, all those mamas that can see behind their heads.
Mm.
But when you get stressed, you're exactly right. It goes right down to 30 degrees. So all the options, alternatives, opportunities that are out there, you literally do not see them. So what I try to do is, how do I help people breathe so they can see more choices that they have? Because there's always more than one.
That's so good.
Because I have to
But
keep
wait,
learning it myself, right?
yes, but that's so true. And in knowing that it's all about perspective and focus, like in moments of stress, if we could expand our perspective, we'd have obviously less stress, more opportunity of how to move forward differently.
Yeah.
Your journey of a health span wake up has certainly taken you down a much broader road than what I think we'd all think of immediately on thinking health span.
Yeah. Yeah. It has. It's opened me up to what do I want, right? I think that's the first thing. I had to get real clear on what it is that I wanted. So I had these little goals along the way too. Like, I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. I wanted to be able to go, because I travel all over the world. I wanted to be able to get into an airline seat and not have to have the seatbelt extender, which I
Yeah.
don't have to anymore.
Bravo.
I wanted to be able to cross my legs, which I can. So I had these little goals that had nothing to do with the bigger thing, but they
Mm-hmm.
made me feel like, oh my gosh, like this shirt, I haven't worn this shirt in 4 or 5 years, and it's a little too big now. I'm like, "Yay!"
Hey, that's
Right?
awesome.
So there's all of that, because I have arthritis in my knees, and what I'm finding is the 70-pound loss, the motion, the movement of dance and walking and all of that, my knees are stronger,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's helping me see that what I had enabled with allowing my protective self of literally a physical self getting bigger, what I had enabled was my world to get small. And the more I lose, the bigger my world gets, because I have more options, more flexibility, more
In a
energy.
lot of ways. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Life is
But
great.
you also, the deepest layer of that protection, and where sometimes I've weight and that the protective layers are there, but you got in touch with that self
Yeah.
in that core moment where you said, I am actually okay.
Yeah.
And what I'm getting from you, is not mine. Like you got both there and then to all the micro steps beyond there
Right.
in terms of the spectrum of that health span, right?
Yeah. You
Because
know,
I think that's the deepest part that sometimes is missed. That visceral feeling of
you
like,
have to,
I
right? You
am
have to
okay.
get to that. I was reading a book. Oh my gosh, he's going to kill me. I can't remember the name of the book, but it's by Jonathan B. Smith. And one of the phrases that he had in there is, if you take deep breaths, which I've been doing for a long time, he said, but in the deep breaths, you say, I have time. And every breath, you pull that out longer and longer. And what I'm realizing is, the more I feel like I have time, the more I can give you time. It's stunning. It's stunning what the world's wisdom is, that's so exciting to pull together, and how do I use it and how do I share it?
That's really fascinating. The time one. And I can see how I hear that it unlocks presence,
Mhm.
which is full Like, it's total power in the moment when you're really in the moment. Sandi, this is many layers that you found.
Yeah.
And I love that the theme of heroic, of being really embodying the hero of your own beautiful journey too is there. How would you summarize the moral of the story and all of this wisdom gained?
Yeah, I think the big thing, Catherine, is how can you simply be? Because we've been so trained to do and to do a lot. And I find that the longer I live, the more the being is important. I can actually get more done than I could before. And I'm less stressed. I'm happier. I'm living in joy more often. And so without telling people, you need to be joyful, they are seeing. My mother's nickname is Jolly Jill. And for my whole life, I wanted to be like my mom. Right. And so, she's still, with us. She's 84. She's fabulous. And I'm finding that that's what's happening when I'm living in joy, when I'm being present, when I'm being focused.
Being is greater than doing. Thank you. Because
Thank
I think that that's a huge unlock, that our time is like, our current era is really like in the moment, working to become like
Mhm.
those who can really live that message of being, versus we're all waking up to the fact that just doing all the time is not what we're looking for, actually.
Right. Right.
I
Got a
love
big
that.
wake up call during the pandemic on that one, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Didn't we? I
Yeah.
think we all had something to catalyze there. Sandi, thank you so much for sharing the ever compounding gift of your sister's life that is more of a focus on the quality
Yes.
of all the things that are health and optimization and joy and balance and being. Thank you so much for all of
Thank you,
this.
Catherine. I really appreciate the time. This is fun.
This is fun. It's fun to get to listen.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I know you got a lot out of this too. So did I. And thanks again, Sandi. And looking forward to next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Wise Women podcast. You can find the book, Wisdom's Discovery, Finding Your Center at the Edge, on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. And keep listening to the wisdom that your life is offering you.